First thoughts, obviously devastated. That last few seconds, you go down.
Yeah, last kick of the game, mate. I think on the balance of the game, Wellington deserved probably the win. Just gutted for the boys. I was super proud of my players tonight. Their effort and their mentality, which was, my first point of call this week, was a shift in effort and a shift in mentality. I thought, to be honest, that was there on show, and so extremely proud of that. Their understanding, and the balance of the squad is obviously lacking a little bit at the moment. And obviously, when you're bottom of the league, and just after you score, you get a red card, and last kick of the game, you concede off a set piece. So obviously frustrating. Just gutted for the boys, but can't stress enough how extremely proud I am of their effort.
First half, you said you want to play up tempo, controlled aggression, attacking game. First half, do you think they looked a bit flat? Certainly the second half was an improvement. First half, a bit frustration there, do you think?
I think so, mate. There's a difference between what I want and my philosophy and my playing style and what we've got. So there's an element of, you inherit a certain style because the players have been signed, to play, one style, and I've obviously got a different picture in my head of what that should look like. So, you can't really put that back on the players too much. But obviously, I'm going to stick true to how I think the game should be played. I think first half, you can see they lack that repeat sprint, ability, and I was a little bit concerned midweek when we had a session on a Wednesday, and it was a 6-kilometre session that the boys, in all seriousness, should be able to complete, quite easy, and they struggled, and I think that really highlighted to me where they're at physically. And again, I have to stress that's not necessarily their fault. So these things are going to take time. My style and my philosophy is going to take time. We tinkered with it at half time and changed a few things and got the boys up on the front foot and, got the rewards. We started the half really well, and then, the red card's a little bit deflating. But yeah, mate, the first half was a little bit flat, and I think that's a real picture and a snapshot of where they are.
The red card, do you think was it deserved? They're thinking minimal contact, if any.
Mate, to be honest, I haven't seen the replay. There was no replay screen here at Leichhardt that I was aware of. Anyway, I was too focused on the play. But I didn't really see it. I just thought that they looked to me like a clash of heels more than anything. So, mate, I can't really comment until I watch it back.
Sure, and after that, obviously, you had to tinker with the side, make some changes, on it. But you're still dangerous, even with 10.
Yeah, look, it's early days for me with this squad, and a big part of what I'm looking to try and build is in transition, and so in some ways, being a man down, you're then very reliant on that transition. I thought the boys had some really nice patterns and picked their moments on when to still try and attack with 10 men. But like I say, it's very, very difficult. And, take nothing away from Wellington as well. They're a really well-coached team. I know Iffy from way back in my playing days with him. And he's done a fantastic job with that squad. So it's a difficult team to play, when we're a man down. But, I agree with you. I thought that we still controlled the game as best we could without the ball and still had some positive moments. So, again, yeah, extremely proud of what the boys put forward.
And if there's one thing you learned out of today's game, obviously not the way you wanted to start these 10 weeks, but if there's one thing you learned from today, what would it be?
One thing I learned, the game was just a football game. It's moments. Goals conceded, late in games, straight after half time. And cards and goals change games. So I don't think I really learned anything too different. It's just 11v11. It was a game that kind of ebbed and flowed. I still think some of the things that I'm looking to implement with these boys is certainly going to take time. And it was nice, though, to ask those boys at half time and actually let them give some answers back on what I've asked for and what they did, and if they could see their own flaws and their own faults, and they could, which means that we're still making some small inroads even in that small amount of time, and I expect us to just keep improving. But I'm not sure about the one thing I've learned, but obviously it's a slap in the face when you concede last kick of the game in your debut game as coach. But mate, I'll wear that and I'll move on. I've got thick skin.
Okay, mate. Thanks very much. See you next week.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll jump in here if that's okay, Gareth. Ruben, I'm just curious what you're saying there about the guys, the sprint intensity and stuff like that. I mean, are you finding that it's a base level fitness issue, or is it, the guys have obviously had a pretty difficult couple of months on the road, COVID, etc. What is it? Is it purely fitness, or is it that?
Look, I think it's a great question. It's a great point. I think there's a few things at play. Obviously what the boys have been through and what the squad's been through. The amount of time they've spent away from home. The amount of games they've played in short amounts of time. We've got suspensions. We're missing players. They're injured. Our star strikers away on national team duty. There's a lot of different elements there. But I just believe in a more up tempo and dynamic playing style. And the teams I've coached, in the past up until this point have played that way. And now I'm almost asking some players that might not necessarily have that style in them to try and implement it. And I must stress, the players were fantastic this week. Their mentality and their effort and what they dished up today, it was far from perfect, and it was far from what it should look like in my head. But you don't just change a playing style and implement a playing style in the course of a week. So I think we are where we are, and we'll just keep looking to improve and just take the positives from it and build.
Thanks, mate. You sound like a coach already. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Any final questions for Ruben? No, I think we're all done. Thanks, Coach. Much appreciated.
My pleasure. Cheers, guys. Thank you.